Hello everybody, I'm here for the HOI channel. Welcome back to the New Order, Last Days of Europe, and to my Ruski Reich playthrough with Guthrum Wagner. He's still here. And we don't have a lot of work left to do. We just have this little tree to do, into the Atomic Age little tree as well, and also just the good old unification war, because this isn't going to end peacefully. But right now, what we need to do is we need to prepare ourselves for a war against Kazakhstan. Because we are going to start that war very, very soon. Yes, I forgot, we don't actually have caste research. That's something we're going to rectify. Destroy the traitor, we need to do that. And we do have manpower, just need to have a wee look and see. Yes, that's fine. Yeah, we're just going to wait until the that's finished. But anyways, I need to focus. Hail victory! Like the tumultuous force of nature, the dreaded legions of the Aryan Brotherhood poured over the Ural Mountains and laid waste to the feeble subhuman scum entrenched beyond. The glorious right now extends into the westernmost fringes of Siberia, and our righteous quest to unify this accursed land has come one giant step further. Now we must sort out what to do with the new conquest. This region is ripe with natural resources to exploit, along with the countless unworthy beasts to put to work for that purpose. Put some more back onto artillery. Anti-tank. Yes, we are quite short of guns. And into the wonders. But we didn't lose anything. That's cool. So, Red Siberia. Overextended administration. Ha! You still have that. That's pathetic. That is pathetic. What I'll do is I'll get. Well, actually, no, we can't really get in divisions in right now. Planes, let me just sort this out. Can I just? No, I just want to grab them. There we go. Sorry. Right. Extend the system. Slightly decreasing coring time. I'm going to go for that one first. So the purification of Siberia. The Reich's purification efforts in West Russia are progressing well, but it's clear that we need to expand our policies of racial purity beyond the Urals as well. Siberia is a vast land that is absolutely infested with subhuman trash, who hold foolish delusions of an identity that is distinct even from that of a Slav. We Iranians see them as what they are, yet more races of low birth who serve no other purpose than to toil in our name. We will transform Siberia into an Aryan paradise. It was always meant to be. People of good ethnic stock be encouraged to settle in the new territories, and those who are not will be put in chains. Soon the world will bear witness to the persistence of Aryan culture, when it begins to thrive even in the hardy conditions of the East. Oh, my days, a war without end. Vagner placed excitedly in front of a large map on the wall. Which prominently featured his recent conquest. His generals, still seated, eagerly awaited their viewers' words, with a slight hint of fear for their own lives, as was routine. Yes! When I marched on the Bashkirs, they called me a madman. When I went to war with the Bolshevik scum, they called me a fool. When I sent my brothers to conquer beyond the Urals, they claimed it could never be done. And yet, here we are. Make no mistake, my brothers, the Reich is on the march. Who called you those things, my Führer? The voice halted Vagner in his tracks. He turned on one foot towards the seated commanders. Who said that? Tell me now, which one of you was it? Was it you? Schneider? The commanders all immediately looked at General Schneider, confirming his guilt. I fucking knew it. Always with the stupid goddamn question with you, isn't it? The Jews, that's who. And the Zionists. They all laughed at me as though I were the funniest joke they'd ever heard. Do you think I am funny? There was a silence. The generals wondered if this was another one of Führer's strict questions. Answer me, damn you. No, Führer. They all said in unionism. The young Führer turned back to his map. Good. Because I can assure you, this is no laughing matter. Soon my Reich shall stretch from the Volga to the Pacific, and when that day comes, every injustice and mockery they have subjected our race to will be repaid in full. Wagner is just an absolute madman. He's no wired right, is he? That's for sure. But Kazakhstan, we'll just get 2 divisions of walk down here again. It's going to be very copy and paste 2 episodes for today, I have to say. 48 days until we do that. We go to total mobilization, war into the world. Order 44. Oh god, I thought it was going to be Order 66 there. Assassination and suicide of multiple prominent Japanese political figures, including the very founder of the Teishi Yukusankai himself, Fumemaru Kono, and Lord Keeper of the Privy Seal, Kuichi Kido. A deadly shower rises from... Okay. The Way of the Warriors. I've never seen that before. What is happening in Japan? Ultra-nationalism? As the devil shower sits on his throne triumphantly, an entire generation condemned to eternal damnation, scorching the infernal flames of the rising sun. Oh no. Oh no, 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 that's... Okay. Vladimir let out a pained cough, a peculiar metallic taste filling his mouth. The Gestapo got him good, and he only had enough strength left in him to stumble away from the fighting before the pain overtook him. The rest of his comrades in the Black League had fought bravely when the Brotherhood's dogs discovered their cell. But there were simply too many. Vladimir had long since been trained to care little for the odds. Survival was never a priority in the League. He groaned as he heard heavy footsteps drawing near. Vladimir put a hand in his coat to prepare the final card he had to play. He would be damned if he let those monsters take him alive. Soon enough, a squad of Gestapo cautiously entered the room, Vladimir had taken refuge in. So, the weakened Wehrmacht was hunted us down at the last. Has hunted us at last. Took you long enough. Your little war is over, scum, one of the Gestapo snarled. The men drew ever closer, visibly losing their tension as they realised Vladimir posed little threat in his state. Perhaps, but there's something you fascist pegs still don't seem to understand. Really? And what would that be? We Russians, Vladimir said, pulling an arm bundle of grenade from his coat. We're not the type to take defeat lying down. The Gestapo immediately flew into a blind panic, quickly turning to make a break for the door. Blasts were quick and the explosive force consumed every living being in the room. Oh, for 20,000 manpower just gone. How many of them was in the room? Oh, let none deny it now, the Brotherhood's on the path to reunification. The Zionist global order may try to suppress this fact as much as they can, but you cannot hope to cover up our deeds forever. The Reich is on the march and our territories grow. Only one fine obstacle lies in our path, and unless they are completely blind, the world is taking notice. Let us send a message to be heard around the globe. Iranian rule over Russia is on the horizon, and soon we will turn to any other nation who dares to conspire against the master race. Let the Jew, the Bolshevik, and the subhuman alike tremble in fear. Fear of Wagner will not rest until the grasp of the world has been broken. I'm very interested to see if Germany will actually even listen to us this time. A deafening silence. That would... Yep, they still remain silent. Wow. Wow, no matter how hard we try, which is probably going to push Wagner to the point that they don't care. Wait, you're doing zero plan? Oh my days, he's doing zero plan. Maybe if I wait like ages, might eventually... It's 1970. This is the kind of stuff you should have been doing like back at the start. Unbelievable. Oh dear. Slight decrease in quarantine. I'm kind of wanting to do this. Let's see what happens. The Reich has become the great eastern vanguard of the forces that fight for air and supremacy. We're in the verge of finishing what the Germans started 20 years ago, and soon the largest nation on earth will stand by their side in their external struggle against the Jew. At the end of the day, our conquests are on behalf of Germany and their interests, for they were the ones who opened our eyes in the first place. Let us send more and more messages to Germany, expressing our gratitude and assuring them that we are slowly but surely accomplishing their goals for the East. They don't listen in the past, and the reason why should have been obvious. Now that the task is nearly complete, maybe they'll be more open to our call. Nope, no they're not, because they don't care. Wagner walked triumphantly to the balcony, standing tall over the thousands of brothers who had come to watch. The crowd, consisting entirely of Brotherhood members, erupted into a cataclysm of furious chanting as the furor became visible. Wagner was to make a speech today, a warning for the entire world to hear. He did not care whether it was listening or not. Brothers, I come to you today not just to celebrate our glorious victories in the East, but to declare our mutual intentions to the world in no uncertain terms. Our brothers have claimed a well-earned victory against the subhuman hordes of the East, and the borders that our mighty Reich continue to grow. The Zionist pigs who run the international show have done everything in their power to slow our unstoppable progress, and have failed every single time. The eternal Jew no doubt looks upon the progress we have made and feels true fear for the first time in nearly 30 years. They know that their grip in the world is tenuous, and all it would take to break it is for the Aryans of the world to claim their destiny as the true inheritors of the earth. I speak now to the subhuman nations of the world. Once our Reich stretches from the great river to the west, the great ocean of the east, we shall turn our eyes to the rest of your illegitimate tyrannical states. The great crusade against Judeo-Bolshevism started by Mr. H shall continue under my guidance. Let our German brothers rest easy, for I shall take up their great burden. The crowd began chanting once more, and Vagner was all too happy to bask in the glory. So Japan's fell to ultra-nationalism. And they don't have a tree, so they're kind of out. They're down and out for the count. But oh dear. Can it train, disband, or edit unit template? Oh no. While Japan is already in dire straits, the situation is still salvageable. Resolve the Gekko Gucho. I don't know if that's how you say it. It's definitely not. Quickly, while keeping tensions down, is the administration's best bet. If not, the situation will get demonstrably worse, and there will be grave consequences. Oh god, what's going to happen to Japan? Did that happen I don't think that happened in my other playthrough. So there has been some differences between the two runs. And we're 6 days away from invading. Germany, did you hear our call? The Greater German Reich remains silent to our plight even now. How foolish we were to assume they would receive us when our greatest test is still unfinished. We're not entirely sure what exactly their goals for us are. We can assume they involve, at least in the short term, the total conquest and purification of Russia. We do not need their permission to continue our crusade, because we already have it. Your Wagner has it on good authority that Germans are greatly interested in our efforts, and wish to see us achieve our goals on our initiative rather than at the whims of another. Let us embrace our role. We are the defenders of the Aryan race, standing at the front line between the civilization and Masonic Zionist tyranny. They don't care. The Germans don't care. They want to kill us. They will kill us. What? What? I think Germany's broke. I think Germany has broken. Right, you straight down there. Go, go, go. So, how strong are you in this version? I think you're roughly the same. You got a decent amount of manpower left as well. Oh, still need to sort out the deficit of equipment, that's for sure. A deafening silence. Schwartz took a deep breath and entered his Führer's office. Wagner only called for him when something was wrong. His heart sank, his eyes immediately met Wagner's, who was seated at his desk with his hands folded. Sit. Before Mr. Didizy was asked, I wrote a carefully worded and thoughtful letter to our brothers in the West and ordered you to have it delivered. Did you do as I asked? Of course, mein Führer, I personally ensured that it was sent. You have my word. Well, that's rather peculiar then, isn't it? Because if you recall, I'd given that order nearly a month ago, and yet I have still not received a response from Germany. So either my inflammable German brothers ignore my plight, or my incompetent foreign minister once again failed the incredibly simple task I'd given him. God fucking damn it. Wagner punctuated a sudden outburst by throwing a stapler at Schwartz. The minister meekly threw his arms up in defense to fight the projectile. I should kill you, you fucking imbecile. My dreams of pan-Aryan unity are in ruins because some invalid doesn't know how to mail a fucking letter. As Schwartz fought to hold back tears, Wagner's demeanour took yet another sudden turn. Or perhaps the Zionists have sabotaged our efforts. Yes! They would do everything in their power to prevent an alliance like this. Schwartz let out a silent breath of relief. One of these days he thought he wasn't going to leave this office alive. Yeah, Wagner is an absolute bloody madman. Let's go to total war economy. Whereas the natural state of the Reich, our beloved civilization simply cannot know peace until our shared dream of Aryan overlordship over the world has been achieved. Despite our recent victories in the field, this day is still far off indeed. The crusade against the external Jew will only escalate from here, and the Reich will need every single pair of hands that still does not hold a gun. The slaves work tirelessly to manufacture war material for our purposes, but this is not enough. Those on the home front, too, must do their part. If they cannot go into battle, they will go to work in the assembly lines. There is no such thing as a civilian. Every single citizen in the Reich will do everything in their power to work towards the goal of ultimate victory, soldier or not. keep going, man. Are we all on this? 47, here we are, good. Right, weapons, equipment improvements. Do I want? I'll upgrade the anti-air. Wait, no. You. Just maybe 3 days for that stuff. Of course, we'll have Kazakhstan's territories to integrate, but we won't be doing that anytime bloody soon. If you guys stop, like, moving, please, we can actually get this over and done with. Right, just like old times. We still have a great deal of ground to cover before the Führer's dream of the Reich, stretching from the Volga to the Pacific, can be truly realised. While we have no doubt they are superior to the inhuman foes who stand before us, the Wehrmacht must adapt their strategies if they wish to tackle this daunting obstacle with any degree of efficiency. When in doubt, look to our German brothers. During their invasion of the Soviet Union, the Germans were able to traverse enormous spans of territory thanks to their near-total motorization of their forces. We should take yet another page from their book and attempt to make an effort to increase the mobility of our own forces. If successful, we will be able to commence an overwhelming blitzkrieg upon the Untermensch, the likes of which has not been seen in decades. Right, not too far away. We've lost 6k, killed 43k. Oh, we're really gonna have no stability. That makes sense though. We're very volatile stuff. I might as well just integrate everything. Who cares for stability? I don't. Not in this playthrough. Oh, what are you in there? I know we're short of guns. We'll have this sword. We really do need to sort that out. Just like old times. The slight decrease in core time. Despite the overwhelming influence of countless inferior races, and even a place like Siberia contains those of proper breeding, pure men and women of this land have been long suffered under the domination of Judeo-Bolshevism. Their sacred blood slowly dwindling as the races of the East conspire to breed them out of existence. Now the soldiers of the Reich have wrested control away from the subhumans. The range of this region can finally breathe a sigh of relief. With no doubts that will welcome their brothers with open arms and join them in their arduous quest to forge a 1,000-year Reich. Right, and peace conference, boom. Thank you for the land. And we can go ahead and put you guys all there. How many factories have I got building as you? Oh, we don't have a lot. Civilian spending, please. That's good. Good. And iron brew. We'll have the oil crisis happening soon, surely. Possibly. Francisco Franco, a lenient hand. Minorities. Ah, that is over here. The beginning of the Congress. Oh, they're improving Iberia stability. Well done, Spain. You're actually, well, Iberia, you're staying together. Alexander could feel the sweat trickling down his head. He was made to stand in line with nearly 100 other men, assembled for a special committee of Brotherhood officials. Alexander had been pulled off the street by the Brotherhood's goons as he was walking home one night, and assumed at the time he was being sent to slave mines. Instead, he had been selected to join the Aryan Brotherhood's armed forces, his fair hair, blue eyes being the most likely source of their interest. Now he was to carefully examined for his racial purity, which made Alexander nervous beyond belief. Despite his being he was half Kazakh, the committee's men arrived at the man next to Alexander immediately began to closely examine the face for a doctor's proficiency. Yes, beautiful eyes, pure complexion, the official muttered, pawing across the man's jawline. Wait a minute. Alexander glanced at the officer who had taken out a series of photos that he could not see from where he stood. The nose is clearly of a Semitic phenotype. Guards! On cue, Brotherhood soldiers emerged to drive the unfortunate soul away. Terrified screams echoed off as he was pulled further out of sight. A distant gunshot could be heard as officials arrived at Alexander. His eyes were wide, and he fought every synapse in his body to avoid shaking. Now this is more like it. Well-defined nose, strong jawline, true Aryan specimen, no doubt. An official behind the officer checked something off his notebook and the group proceeded to the next man. Alexander would live, for now, but somehow he felt no comfort. Ah, we just lose 20,000 manpower again. Great. Bring down the jackboot. Like so many rats, the subhumans have turned Siberia into their nest, an abhorrent breeding ground for racial impurity. It follows the Aryans of the Reich to become their exterminators, cleansing the region to make way for the ultimate purification of Russia. For too long have they conspired against our race, plotting their own rise to dominance at the expense of the Aryan. We will repay their foolish delusions of grandeur and kind and clasp them in the irons. The subhumans of Siberia will work themselves to death in industry, and those who cannot will be cast aside with extreme prejudice. The armies of the Reich have come to Siberia, and we're here to stay. Perfect. Right, are we making guns? Are we making guns? Is a positive increase happening? Oh! Perfect. Then I can divert attention away from the guns to artillery pieces and anti-tank. The Brotherhood needs blood. Ah, fantastic. So basically all the men that died, I've gained them back. 37,000. Good, excellent, excellent. And is things worsening for you? Bloody hell, weekly stability of -5. Ooh. Oh. That is not good. Right, we extend the system. The heartlands of the Reich are a testament to the strength of Aryan rule. Only the pure hold the reins of power, and all of the ill-bred Slavic mongrels know their place. This balance, carefully forged by the ingenious statesmanship of Führer Wagner, is what maintains stability and order for the privileged citizens of the Reich. Sadly, the situation in West Siberia is a different story entirely. Despite the end of hostilities, the subhuman rabble still did everything in their power to resist our will. This disgusting state of affairs cannot be allowed to continue. Woe betide the inferior races over here. Our Gestapo shall come to remind them of their inferior status from the barrel of a gun. Damn. Oh, the amount of infrastructure that is in flames. They could actually have more military. Oh no, they don't. Yeah, it could have more cities, but they don't have more military factories. Ah, yes, more land that I could core. Proportional GDP. Oh, there we go. Iraq collapses in civil war. We're gonna have the oil crisis occurring very soon as well. There it is, the oil crisis. The slave caste, sorry. The ideal society envisioned by our beloved Führer Guntram Wagner is one divided by castes. The master race, the Aryan, is meant to lead. Power in the right comes through the merit of blood above all else, and those who do not meet the demanding requirements fall into the second caste, the subhuman. The inferior races are genetically predisposed to subversives, and this fact makes them ideal for one thing, and one thing only: hard labour in the service of their betters. The relentless toil shall build the basis of our new Aryan society, a nation that puts the interests of our race above all else. Let us worry not about those who do not share this vision, for they will forever be nothing more than the beasts of burden of the Reich. Yay! A future in chains is an event we get. Great. Work for your life. Hard labour for the good of the Reich is not a punishment but a mercy. The subhumans who now work tirelessly in our factories and mines may look upon us as monsters for enforcing our will upon them, but they do not realise that their labour is their only purpose. Fulfill the garrisons. I need to change the cavalry. Find a use for these mongrels. We have had to liquidate them. We'd have to liquidate them. The slaves will work as far as their feeble bodies can take them, and if some cannot handle the task they are given, then they will suffer the consequences of failing to meet our expectations. And then that will lead us to the Pacific Crusade. The Reich must stretch from the Volga River in the west to the Great Pacific Ocean in the east. It's simply our destiny. Only one obstacle remains before Aryan supremacy over Russia can be achieved, and it is our greatest yet. The lands of Siberia are vast and uncompromising, and a difficult terrain will surely make things complicated if we're not prepared. Meanwhile, the subhuman filth knows that we intend to stomp them under our boots, and they are digging in. This war will be glorious indeed. The Wehrmacht stands ready to begin the attack, hardened by years of brutal fight in the service of the Reich. Their enemies who stand before them may not be of pure birth, but they make up for this glaring inadequacy with their animalistic ferocity. They will fight tooth and nail to please their Zionist masters, so no quarter shall be given to them. Let the world hold its breath, the Reich marches east once again. Yuri felt like a sardine in more ways than one. Here he was, in a crowd consisting of thousands of chained men, with barely enough space to breathe. The barbed wire fences kept the prisoners penned in like helpless chickens, forced to wait for hours on end while their fates were determined. The intercom let out a piercing shriek as it came to life, and a gruff voice became audible. All slaves, please direct your attention to the tower on your left. You reluctantly did as the voice said, and saw a large man standing atop the watchtower, who looked quite pleased with himself. Soon nearly every prisoner had turned their gaze upwards to the man, who seemed as though he was preparing to give a speech. He cleared his throat and raised a megaphone to his face. Salutations, I am Dietrich Meyer. You can call me Master. Rejoice, for you have been given a rare opportunity indeed. You see, you belong to a race that wields a long and proud tradition of subservience to their betters. The world would have forgotten this role of the millennia, but we have not. Go to work with the confidence, for your sacrifice will become the building blocks that make up the greatest civilization the world has ever seen. This man, in so many words, had essentially condemned Yuri to die labouring away for a regime that considered him more flesh than dirt. He heard the shrill sliding of metal as gates to the work camp opened at last. Yuri closed his eyes as despair overtook him. A cruel existence. Okay, and then we just got our atomic stuff to sort out, so we've really got any events until the war's over now. I don't really think I need to build too many more divisions really. I can just keep a manpower. We're only in August, so we do still have some time. Oh well. Expand, chase. Okay, cool. What are we lacking? A little bit of rubber. A little bit of rubber. Right, Pacific Crusade. Let's start that. Right, let's have a wee bit of these. Into the Atomic Age. Russia has long been regarded by powers near and far as a backwater. A vast steppe full of peasant farmers and decades of revolution, collapse and civil war has done little to challenge this perception. This will soon change. With the resources, human and otherwise, that we have acquired during our campaigns of reunification, we possess the ability to begin a nuclear program. The power of the atom is a great equalizer in the game of geopolitics, and we shall now act to harness it for ourselves. Just as we are desperate to unlock the secrets of the atom, our enemies are equally desperate to prevent us from doing so. Although there are many ways to increase security, very few are absolute security is necessary when the stakes are so high. We will therefore sequester our entire nuclear program. Laboratories, enrichment facilities, reactors and production lines in closed cities. These cities will not permit entry or exit to anyone without direct authorization from the highest levels of government. Although cumbersome and expensive, such is irrelevant. We must have safety and security for the program, and we will. More than 20 years of civil war has, among many other things, all but destroyed the educational infrastructure of the nation and led to the immigration or death of most competent scientists and physicists. If we are to have any hope of continuing and completing our nuclear program, we must address this. We cannot wait for the skilled scientists to make themselves known or return from afar, or for advanced institutes to be reclaimed. We must act. We will directly fund the universities and research centres that we do have, and monitor them closely for students of loyalty and aptitude who can directly recruit into our development program. Address the uranium problem. Russia is truly an enormous land, possessing many varied resources in vast abundance. Unfortunately, however, uranium is not one of those, so far as we know. With a steady and reliable supply of uranium, we will have no program unless they bomb. We must therefore make every effort in order to find the supply as soon as possible, no matter what the cost. We must find new sources of the fissile material. Right, that's good. Nothing there until obviously the new year. 2 days until that's done, because we'll have all this done before 1971 at this rate. Let's go ahead and do the established closed facilities. Right, expand the Kugan mines. Our efforts to locate additional sources of uranium domestically have borne fruit. Just east of the Urals near the city of Kurgan, surveyors are claiming to have found a mass deposit of uranium ready for exploitation. In order to secure the deposit, an entire mining operation and infrastructure surrounding it will have to be built from scratch. The efforts required will be enormous and the cost even greater, but it is irrelevant. We must have that uranium. Source foreign materials. If we cannot find enough uranium to support our program domestically, we shall have to look farther afield. Agents, legal and otherwise, will be dispatched across the world to research and investigate both known and rumoured uranium deposits. Whether we must buy the material, trade for it, or steal it, we will acquire it. The program must continue, and a bomb cares little for where the material inside it comes from. Wow, all of them need anti-tank, don't they? Catching up on that though. And in fact, I can bring that right bloody in. Actually, these are some factories. Get some more onto tanks soon. Could do research and cast, to be fair. A foundation for research. I think that's going to open up decisions for us, is it not? For nukes. Project Molninia. Overall progress is slow at 2 per month. Develop physics institutes. Increase theoretical development progress by 50%. Theoretical and monthly progress gained by 1%. That seems very beneficial. And I think we'll go ahead and improve our academic base. When the time comes for potential conflicts. Yeah, we're only in the theoretical development. It'd be interesting to see if we can actually get the nuke sorted before I end the playthrough, because I don't think I've done that yet, so that would be interesting. But let's go ahead and just get into 1971 and we'll end the episode there. We can do this. We can get this sorted. That's going to increase some things. Monthly progress gained by 3%, which is going to be good. I'm going to be spending a lot of money on it. This will put all your current liquidate reserves to paying off national debt. Are you sure? Oh. Yeah, we had money. Yeah, let me just bring that. Let's get rid of the debt. Address the uranium problem. We're already up to 28%. Nice. Might as well do this as well. Our research facilities will get improved. Just costs us money. It only costs us 100 mil. And the thing is, my liquid reserves is... Oh, annual deficit. I'm losing money. I don't really pay too much attention to this. Civilian spending, let's just up that a wee bit. Gonna have some core territories soon. Actually, we already got some core territories. Let's just keep tabs on this app. Approach meager scientists. So we'll probably have to get it right up to 100%. So it's going to take some time. It's going to take some hell of time. 5% per month though. It's not too bad. This is going to put it up by another 2%. Up the cold days. Is it that time? Raise the emergency reserves. Infiltrate the Siberian institution. Develop the Eastern Railroad. Prepare for war production. We'll get the Air Force ready. The Grand Showdown. Hell yeah. Mobilize. I just want our 13 divisions. That's all I want. Just put us back in deficit. But that's fine. Address the uranium problem. Cool. Kurgan mines. That's going to put it up by 1% as well. Put up by another 3. Yeah, I think we're going to be pretty good. Right, let's get bloody cash research. I want that for our final confrontation. But anyways, guys, I'm going to leave that episode there. So thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I'll be back very soon for what could be the finale. Until next time, take care. Goodbye. The now.